This morning exercise routine will help increase your flexibility, relieve tension, and wake you up after a night's sleep, which is essential for everyone. All you need is your own body, nothing else. Stand with your feet shoulder wide apart and take 2 deep breaths in and out. Place your hand on your hips. The first movement involves your head. Keep your shoulders level and stretch your chin in the opposite direction without moving your shoulders. Turn your head, letting your gaze go past your shoulders. It's crucial to warm up your neck because blood flow primarily occurs through this area, and tension here can lead to headaches. You can simply warm up and relieve headache or migraine symptom. Now, let's do the same movement but in a semicircle, moving smoothly and lowering your chin to your chest. We'll do 10 repetitions in both directions. This way, we supply oxygen to the neck area and release any tension, especially if we slept awkwardly or use an unsuitable pillow. Next, stretch your arms out to the sides and make fists, rotating your wrist 10 repetitions backward and 10 forwards. This joint exercise improves blood flow to this area and warms them up, which is very important. After finishing those 10 repetitions, bring your fist to your chest and make smooth movements with your wrist, continuing to move closer to your body, completing full circles, and doing 10 repetitions away from you. Keep your arms in fists. Your shoulder may feel tense, and that's correct because the muscles are working. Now, place your thumbs on your shoulders and rotate your elbows in a large circle. Take a deep breath as you rise them. Perform 10 repetitions forward and take backward. This exercise not only works your shoulder, but also engages your chest area, releasing tension and warming up the muscles. It's essential to do this morning exercise routine. It's very beneficial. Now let's do 10 repetitions with the straight arms, being careful to avoid any pain. You can make these movements a bit smoother, 10 repetitions with straight arms and 10 backwards. Here we can also engage the trapezius muscle by raising your arms higher and making the movements more expansive to involve the entire upper body. Shake out your arms, and now we'll do an important movement. Rotate your wrist in the opposite direction and look at your hand as it rises, stretching toward your shoulder. Be sure that your pelvis does not rotate as well. Do this 10 times, turning each time to stretch these muscles, and then make circle with your shoulders backward. Place your hands on your hips and now focus solely on the movements in your chest area. This feels great as it stretches your back muscles and lengthens your obliques. We'll do 10 repetitions to each side, counting this as one repetition. You can adjust the number slightly depending on how much time you have. Now do the same movements, but open up your chest and then close it. Inhale as you open and exhale as you close. Coordinating this with your shoulders, elbows back, elbows forward. Also, tuck your pelvis to increase the range of motion, doing a few more repetitions. Now, let's make circle movements. At first, this may seem difficult, but over time it will feel more fluid. The vertebra may even pop as these movements are excellent for your spine. Do 10 repetitions with minimal movement in your pelvis. I know you'll want to move your whole body at first, but try to not. This is a dance-like movement, not used in dance for no reason. This increases flexibility throughout your body and spine, enhancing the smoothness of your movements. Now we finish this movement. Stand tall and rotate your head like before, but also include your shoulder. Turn your head as you look over your shoulder, while minimizing pelvis movement. This stretches your trapezius muscle, which often gets tight. Stretch it out. Breathe freely without holding your breath. This is very important, as holding your breath can raise blood pressure. Stand tall now and move diagonally, extending one arm while the other moves diagonally under your body. Inhale and exhale as you stretch, lengthening your body and reaching for the upper arm while strengthening the one above. The pelvis shoulder remains still and the movement should come from the torso. Repeat this a few more times. You can do slightly more or less, but 20 minutes is the optimal time to spend in the morning. I believe everyone can spare 12 minutes for themselves to feel great. So, place your hands on your hips for 5 repetitions, making a total of 10 as you bow forward slightly. Don't lean back too much, this also improves mobility in the lumbar region. Now let's do 5 repetitions in the opposite direction, ensuring you don't rotate your pelvis. Keep the movement in your torso. Don't go too low as if it's drawing a circle with your head. Alright, next up, balance exercises. Extend your arms to the side and move from the hip joint. We'll do 10 repetitions inward. Let me just say, if you hear any clicks in your hip joint, it's better to skip this movement. Or you can reduce the range of motion and just focus on lifting and lowering. You can do the same thing on the other side using your hand to hold onto a wall or a chair if you feel unsteady. But over time, aim to improve your balance. Now, stand with your feet wider than shoulder wide apart. Keep your back straight and reaching your arms forwards. Try to not round your back too much. It's better to have your legs wider and maintain a slight arch in your lower back. We'll do 2 free small bounces down and back into that arch. Next, raise your arm in front of you for a slow, controlled movement. This is a yoga-inspired exercise that helps open up the chest and relieve tightness. We'll alternate sides. If you can't reach all the way, you can keep your arm hovering or bend your knees. Make sure your arms are in line as you rotate and keep your gaze following your hand. Inhale as you go down and exhale as you open up. Stretching down with your elbows towards the floor and extending even more. Now lift up and lower onto your left leg, bouncing side to side. This will stretch the inner thighs. Now place your hands slightly above your knee, extending your body away from your supporting legs. Push off with your leg that strengthens, reaching with the opposite arm. Stretch out your back and hips. The lower you go, the better. Try to not rise too high. Trust me, if you do this every day, your flexibility will improve significantly. Now, let's turn to the left and bounce with your hands on your hips. You can slightly bend your left knee while keeping your hands on the floor and trying to strengthen the back of your thigh. Strengthen your knee and pull your toes back towards you. Aim to keep your back flat, avoiding excessive rounding. Now let's do the same on the other side. Turn to the right, bouncing or reaching downward to stretch the inner thigh. Keep your hands on the floor or on your thigh while strengthening your leg and pulling your toes back forward you. Return to the center, bouncing a little with a straight back. It's very important to gather your legs. Stand up with a straight back, leaning on your thighs and gently stretch your back. This is often done in yoga. If you bend forward, you need to arch back in the opposite direction. Now, let's go into plank position with your hips slightly elevated. Transition into upward facing dog and on an exhale, push into downward facing dog. Let's do some dynamic movements. Take a deep breath in, pull your shoulder back and exhale as you look down at your belly. Here we are opening up the chest, stretching the back, abdominal muscles and warming up the hip joints. Now hold a plank for 30 seconds. You can pause here and hold for a minute or two, gradually working up to 2 minutes. This is great for stabilizing your spine and strengthening your back muscles. Returning to the starting position. Grab your shin and pull it down as low as you can while exhale. Stretch out your lower back carefully while keeping your back straight. Now let's take a deep breath in, reach up and exhale. Deep breath in, stretching up, long exhale. Deep breath in and stretch up your hands together, extending your spine upward from your heels. On exhale, round your back, pulling your stomach in as if pushing away from something, and let your hand fall behind your back, opening your shoulders. This is just 12 minutes, but you'll be full of energy. I wish you flexibility without pain and hope your body becomes your ally. Thank you so much. Have a great day and see you soon. This was Johnny Montana.